Hello! My name is Teacher Evelyn, and I'm making a video about how to get a raise with VIPKID. That's right, this video is about the VIPKID raise requirements. Now, when the company was first created years ago, originally teachers would always have a 50-cent raise per class beginning the signing of their third contract, so 1 year in with the company. But as the company grew, they chose to change it and motivate us with a list of requirements for a raise so that their best, hardest working, most motivated teachers would be the ones to receive this raise of $1 per hour. Now, I am nearing that signing of the third contract in January. I'll be signing it in December to begin in January. And I'm interested. Buckle your seatbelts, because the raise requirements for VIPKID is like a very complicated math equation. But I'm going to try my best to break it down for you and make it more simple. When you look up the raise requirements, you'll see a chart like this. I wrote it down my own way, but these are the indicators and the points. You have to have 10 points in order to get a raise. So in your 12 months, they say 12 months, it's actually 11. That's interesting. It says on the chart 12 months, but teachers over and over again have said, for example, this is the example. I began in December, okay? So by the end of November, I began in December 2017. So by the end of November 2018, I have to meet these requirements. As far as number of classes, they're looking at 11 months. But as far as all of this, they're looking at 12 months. Okay, so the first one is a maximum of 2 teacher no-shows. So for me personally, I've had 4 teacher no-shows. So that one doesn't count for me. I don't get those 2 points. A maximum cancellation rate of 0.60. Okay? That means, how you would calculate that, bear with me, this is complicated. Okay, so 0.60 cancellation rate. It says percentages calculated considering the number of total canceled slots out of all of the bookings in the last 12 months. Teacher no-show, 2 hours, teacher cancellation, 24 hours, and teacher cancellation. So they didn't specify whether that includes a soft cancellation, so I would assume so. So I have 4 teacher no-shows and 1 soft cancellation. So for that, I would have to do a division problem involving how many classes I've taught, and I'm not to that number yet of how many I've taught in 12 months. So we'll see. Finished classes. This one's the one that's hardest for me. Well, one of the hardest for me. Finished classes needs to be a minimum of 1,200 classes. Now, I'm 9 months in. And let's look at my handy dandy app here. This is, I have currently taught 736 classes. So I have 11 weeks, according to my calculations, in my handy dandy notebook. I have 11 weeks to teach 464 classes if I want to reach that number. So when I break that down, each week I have to teach 43 classes. What's the problem with that? The problem with that is I can open up 50 bookings. I can get 45 of those booked. I can go and be ready to teach, and maybe 5 of them won't show up, and I'll only get 4 classes, and I won't make it for making the 12,000 classes. Now, I'm trying. I'm going to try to get to 12,000. 12,000. Sorry. If I said 12,000, I take that back. 1,200. 1,200 finished classes in 11 months. There was a teacher, several teachers actually, who were very disappointed because they thought that at the end of their last month, December, like I started in December, and it goes until the end of November. That's when they count it. It's actually 11 and a half months because I started in December. So it's not a full 12 months. Remember, in China, they count things differently. When a child is born, they count it as a 1-year-old. A child is a 1-year-old. So they think a little bit differently. When they're saying 12 months, they're not trying to be dishonest. They're just thinking in a Chinese way. So we have to think their way. Finished PPT. PPT times. There are 4 classes in the PPT times available every day. And that is the hot time. So in my central time zone right now, before we fall back on our clocks, that is from 6 a.m. Let me look and double check I'm not giving you misinformation. One moment. Okay. PPT right here. PPT in the central time zone before we fall back on our clocks is from 6 a.m. So 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m., and 7:30 a.m. So 4 classes from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. because that last class ends at 8. So you have to have 600 of those classes. How do you keep track of that number? I don't know. I would have to send in a ticket and request for them to tell me, because they just tell us on the portal, it shows how many PPT classes we have opened and how many we have booked and how many we have taught each month. And it just shows us the month before we can click back to. It doesn't show us all the way back to December. That wasn't a feature that existed when I started. So I would have to send in a ticket to ask about that. But I doubt, highly doubt, that I would reach 600 PPT by the end of November. We'll see. The last one is you have to have a 25% 5-apple rating rate. 5-apple rating percentage. Now, right now, I have met that one. But it can change, you know. It depends on whether the parents feel the itch to leave you a feedback or not, and whether they're kind enough to leave 5 apples. So a lot of these indicators, unfortunately, are a little bit out of our hands. We can't really control our bookings that well. We can try our best. I have videos about how to improve your bookings. We can't control if there's a typhoon right now and our students don't show up, or if there's Chinese New Year and our students don't book. We don't have control over this very much. And sometimes we oversleep and make a mistake and get too many teacher no-shows, and that's my bad, you know. That's on me, I guess. But I'm thankful for the company that they allow us 6 teacher no-shows or cancellations per contract, which is 6 months. I feel like that's gracious. I'm glad they don't fire us right away. I appreciate that. So anyway, conclusion being, there have been few and far between teachers who have actually met the raise requirements and gotten a raise. Do not hold your breath and lose your oxygen over waiting for VIPKID to give you a raise, because they probably will not. Do try your best to meet these requirements. See what happens. All these things are good things to try to strive for in order to be a good teacher. So I'm going to try my best. And if I were to get a raise, I would let y'all know. I know that there was a teacher that said on Facebook that she had a lengthy phone conversation talking to headquarters about her concerns and about other people's concerns as well, as far as how this isn't really fair to some teachers. Teachers who teach brick and mortar, they're only able to work weekends. They're not able to work the PPT slots, and maybe they haven't taught as many. So anyway, I wouldn't say it's totally unfair. I would just say it's very high expectations for a raise. That being said, this is an awesome company, and we're already paid really well. I'll update you if I get a raise in December. All right. Take care. I hope this was helpful for you. Thanks. Bye.